Hey guys, Tom Barton from TomBartonSports.com here. I am smiling from ear to ear. The biggest choke artist in the history of the NFL is out of the playoffs. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, the ascension of Joe Burrow as well. Guys, if you like this video, if you don't like this video, hey, comment below. If you do like the video, make sure you comment below and subscribe to the channel. Go check me out at TomBartonSports.com and go check me out at TomBartonSports over on Twitter. All right, guys, that's it. Look, Aaron Rodgers is booted from the playoffs, and I have been ripping this guy my entire radio career. I have called him pretty much, look, just a bad teammate. He's a bad guy, generally speaking, and I've consistently said he just doesn't get enough flack for consistently being booted out of the playoffs. You know, you could be an Aaron Rodgers admirer of what he does during the regular season. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But his playoff record reads loss, 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 and a lot of home losses. And most of those losses in years where before the year began, Vegas had them as one of the one or two best teams to win the Super Bowl. Most of those years, it's at home when he's losing. Most of those years, they're winning 12, 13, 14 games. And a lot of those years, you know, he does have a lot of consistency that other quarterbacks don't get. I went really deep into this in another video. You guys can go back and check that out. So I won't go overly into this. And don't say, wait a minute, Tom, it wasn't Aaron Rodgers tonight. Yes, actually it was. And that's why I want to have this conversation. Actually, it was Aaron Rodgers tonight. Now, was the kicking game atrocious? Yeah, absolutely. And I heard the comment that Trey Aikman was saying, Matt LaFleur said, just hope that the special teams don't screw it up. Well, yeah, the kicking game was bad. And ultimately, everyone's going to look at the kicking game and they're going to go, oh, wait, you know, that was a problem. And people are going to look at the weather and they're going to say, oh, wait, that was the problem. And every year, Aaron Rodgers seemingly has some kind of excuse. You hear it from the Packers fans. Well, he never had a good defense. Well, he did this year, right? I mean, he had a top 10 defense this year. This is a defense that held San Francisco to 0 offensive touchdowns at home, couldn't win the game. He did have a running game. Aaron Jones was fantastic today, so you can't blame the running game. The offensive line, look, I know that they were missing some people, but the offensive line over the course of the year still ranks as a top 10 offensive line. And really, if you really break it down, there was a good portion of the season, I know without David Bakhtiari included, there was a good portion of the season where they were number 1 overall offensive line. So you can't blame the offensive line. You can't blame coaching. Not this time. Don't go out there and blame coaching. This wasn't coaching. You absolutely can spread the blame around. And you can say that, you know, the weather was a factor. You could say that, you know, special teams was a factor. Sure. But if you are the MVP of the league, which he was last year, and I made this argument last year, and there's a good chance that Aaron Rodgers wins the MVP again this year. Most likely he's going to go back-to-back MVPs with not a ring to show for it. If you are the MVP of the league, and you are as good as Aaron Rodgers claims to be, and as good as his fans say that he is, you cannot go out there in the biggest game with a week off against a depleted secondary that's been exposed all year long, against a secondary that lost one of their starting cornerbacks in the last, 6 minutes to go in the game? But crunch time, they lost one of their big stars. You can't go out there, throw for 225 and simply 1 touchdown. You can't do it. And the 1 touchdown, oh, by the way, was, you know, a very early touchdown. It was a touchdown early on. I thought it was going to set the tone. I thought we were looking at a 300-yard, 3-touchdown game from Aaron Rodgers. San Francisco put an end to that real fast. And again, this wasn't play calling. You watched Aaron Rodgers upset with himself, and they made mention to this on the broadcast, which, you know, Joe Buck will never say anything bad about Aaron Rodgers. They made mention to this on the broadcast. Aaron Rodgers, he's looking to the heavens. Why is he looking to the heavens? Because he made an overthrow. Because he didn't lead a guy. Because he was upset. Normally, it's Aaron Rodgers all upset with his teammates. I have the worst teammates ever. Not tonight. Tonight, Aaron Rodgers was actually upset with himself on multiple throws because he didn't perform the way that an MVP should. He didn't perform the way Aaron Rodgers should. He didn't perform the way that his teammates needed him to be. And that's the thing. Look, if you are that guy, and you want to stake a claim that you're one of the greatest of all time, you want to stake a claim that you are the MVP of the league, you cannot come up short in a game like this. You cannot come up small. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't perform well tonight. Ryan Tannehill was atrocious in the first game. Ryan Tannehill and Jimmy Garoppolo are not staking claim to the MVP. Ryan Tannehill and Jimmy Garoppolo are not going out there and saying, you know what, I'm one of the top 2 or 3 greatest players of all time, and my fan base thinks that. No, the Tennessee fan base is already calling for Ryan Tannehill's head, and the San Francisco fan base is going, look, Jimmy wins, but we kind of already drafted Trey Lance because we know. Well, Aaron Rodgers, in what might be his last incarnation in Green Bay, is walking off the field a loser. He's walking off the field a loser, throwing 1 interception, fumbling the ball once, nearly throwing a pick 6 at the end of the game. That would have ended the game even before Robbie Gould did. By the way, I just want to stand up for a moment here. I am wearing a Robbie Gould jersey, if you turn it, right? Look, it was so fitting that Robbie Gould ended Aaron Rodgers' season, maybe ended his tenure in Green Bay. And you have to now think that Aaron Rodgers probably is gone. I mean, the speculation was already there. And then it was, well, what if he goes out there? What if he wins a Super Bowl, right? I mean, that was the question. Well, he didn't. Instead, we got what we saw from Aaron Rodgers throughout his entire career. And I think at this point, none of you that argued with me a couple of weeks ago when I put out the Aaron Rodgers video, none of you that have been calling my radio shows and bashing me for year after year after year, you have nothing to say ever again. Because I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, and I continue to tell you so, right? It's not a career that you look at and you go, like Dan Marino. Look, he had all the weapons, and just didn't have a team around him. It's not like Drew Brees. Well, you know what? Look, he had all the offense and he just couldn't get it together. No, it's not that either. It's not like Peyton Manning before he went to Denver, is it? Right? No, because he kept going up against Brady. No, it's randoms knocking him off. It's Eli going into Green Bay and winning. It's, you could get over Tom Brady doing it. It's Jimmy Garoppolo owning you, absolutely owning you in Green Bay. And again, all the Green Bay fans are going to go back to the kicking, and they're all going to give Aaron Rodgers an excuse. 1 touchdown in a championship game. 1 touchdown in the playoff game. 1. That's all you threw. 225. Aaron Rodgers wasn't great tonight, and he needs to be great for Green Bay to win because you want that label as MVP. That's what you need, and that's what Aaron Rodgers was sorely lacking once again. So everybody can celebrate. Aaron Rodgers is out of the playoffs. Yet again, not a big surprise to me. Joe Burrow is still in the playoffs. And what a complete reversal that we have when we go from Aaron Rodgers to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is a guy that doesn't make excuses. Joe Burrow is one of the toughest quarterbacks I've ever seen. He was sacked 9 times tonight, and he still got a W. 9 times, and he still found Jamar Chase. The whole world knew he was going to Jamar Chase at the end of the game. He went to him at the end of the game. He has faith in his teammates. He has faith in his ability. He has faith in himself. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Almost a little Namath-like, if you want to say. Almost the bravado where it's going to start. Look, right now everybody loves Joe Burrow. It's going to start getting to people in a couple of years, and I kind of love that about him. I kind of love that about, when they made the playoffs, he said, well, this is the bare minimum from here on out. This is the bare minimum. It's the anti-Aaron Rodgers, right? He trusts his players. He doesn't complain about the offensive line. It's all Joe Burrow. My question is that we need to start asking, and I asked this before the playoffs on my radio show. You guys could always listen into that. I asked myself and the fans the question, are we underrating Joe Burrow? And I think we might be, right? I mean, we were easily accepting that Patrick Mahomes was the upper echelon and maybe the greatest talent that we've ever seen after a full season, except he walked onto a team with no college success, a year sitting back, walked onto a playoff team, right? It's easy to anoint Josh Allen, who I personally really do like. But Josh Allen took a couple of years to get there, right? He had his offensive line was there. They went out, they got him a number 1 receiver in Stephon Diggs. He's got his head coach is going to be up for coach of the year, and his offensive coordinator is going to be up for a head coaching job. You look at these guys. Justin Herbert still hasn't made the playoffs, guys. Justin Herbert failed when it counted in most cases. Well, we have no problem putting him in the upper echelon, right, with all the talent around him. And you start to look at these young quarterbacks that are boosted into that upper echelon. Dak Prescott, oh, he's that guy, right? I mean, you're able to take these guys and elevate them. Kyler Murray, quickly elevate them. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow comes into the NFL with a resume better than any of them. Guy's a Heisman Trophy winner, one of the greatest seasons in the history. You can argue the greatest season in the history of college football, the quarterback position. Comes in, he wins, and he's the Heisman. The resume is fantastic. Gets his knee blown out because, look, the offensive line just can't block for him. They can't do it. Gets his knee blown out, comes back stronger, gets hit 51 sacks as she leads the NFL. Doesn't say a word about his offensive line. Not only takes his team in a division with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are always good, and Cleveland and all the expectations that they had, wins the division, takes his team to the playoffs, and then wins a playoff game. And then goes out there and wins again at number 1 Tennessee. I think we are underrating Joe Burrow. I really do. I don't think that we fully are embracing what Joe Burrow is. So while Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers, and we have just established who he is. He's a choke artist, comes up small in the biggest games, and he's going home once again. Joe Burrow has a bright future in front of him because Joe Burrow puts teams on his back. Joe Burrow doesn't throw his teammates under the bus. Joe Burrow is everything that Aaron Rodgers probably should have been. Joe Burrow is everything that the Green Bay Packers fans look at Aaron Rodgers and secretly wish he was. So Joe Burrow, welcome to the upper echelon. Aaron Rodgers, wherever you're going. I want to say see you later, but I know you're going to be back, probably wearing a different uniform. And it's going to be, you know what? You leave Green Bay. Your legacy is a great regular season quarterback. But it is also really great for me to see you sitting back at home, going home again in another loss. You have one playoff win that mattered to get you to the Super Bowl. That's it. And it came against a third-string quarterback named Caleb Haney, and you barely beat him. Aaron Rodgers shrinks once again. The kicking game has something to blame, but don't pull it all on him. The kicking game shouldn't have been involved. This game shouldn't have been close. If Aaron Rodgers was the MVP, this game shouldn't have been close. But Aaron Rodgers didn't play like that, did he? No, he didn't. All right, guys, comment below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go check me out at Tom Barton Sports over on Twitter and TomBartonSports.com. Have a very good day, everybody. I know I will.